Hello there. I'm History of the Flash, also known as JD.
Ahoy, I'm
But
Comic
this isn't
Hunter, also known as
so
Hunter.
I don't actually have to introduce myself. You
We
already know
didn't
where
really
you are.
plan that.
We're sending in books to CGC, which if you don't know what CGC is, they're the certified grading company. They grade comic books among other things. And just to show you what one looks like, we talked about it last podcast episode. Boom, beautiful.
Just like that.
It's in a plastic slab and it has a grade, so it'll stay like that forever. And it'll tell you like on the label like what cool things happen to that issue. So Wally West becomes the Flash. We're sending in a bunch of books, so we figured we'd make a little video so you could see what we're sending in.
Yeah.
I've got 15, I think. Hunter's got 9. And
Technically 10.
10, technically 10.
Yeah.
And we're going to show them off so you can see what we're sending. We'll try to take a little guess on the grade. And yeah, then we'll see how close we are when we actually get the books back.
You want to start since you have more than me?
I will start. Okay, I'm going to start with a character that's recently been in the news because he got casted in a show, but always been a personal favorite character of mine. Batman 436, aka the first appearance of Tim Drake.
I didn't know you had that.
Yeah, I got this one a while ago. It's an okay copy. The top staple's a little weird. I don't know if you kind of see it on. It's gonna be a little hard with the plastic bag more, but the staple's a little weird. But it's a nice comic. Either way, whatever the grade is, I kind of want it just back in the slab because I think it's gonna look cool. Tim Drake first appearance
for sure.
As for grade, I'm gonna guess. Now I'm always harsh on my books. I was talking to Jeremy, Comic Jeremy, about this yesterday. But there are numerous spine ticks, and the staple's a little weird. I'm gonna go with 7.5. I'll go harsh.
I guess I'll go next. Another Batman book that I've talked about recently on the podcast. I'm sending in Batman Damn. This is the uncensored edition, the first printing. So when I was looking up just how much these guys are worth, they're worth over $1,000 in a 9.8 for the uncensored version, which
because it got recalled.
Yeah, exactly. Because they took all the comics back and reprinted it as just censoring it. So I had the uncensored version. I read it once and then put it away. Granted, it's so big that I can't really put it in like a bag and board.
I was wondering how do you ship that off? You just got to pack it up with tons of boards and
I guess so. Yeah, something like that. But I'm going to guess because I've only read
that one at the bottom of the package.
Away. I'm gonna say 7.5, same as you, because I didn't know it was worth much, so I wasn't like careful when I read it. I just flipped through kind of thing. So 7.5, wow. But it's something that I like to have, and plus it'd be bigger than like your average CGC, so I think it looked cool on display.
Okay, my next one's gonna be a foreign one. That way I get through my books quicker because it's an arc. It's 4 issues. You've probably seen it if you watch the podcast.
I know which one you're talking
it's
about.
Emerald Twilight, the first appearance of Kyle Rayner, the Death of Sinestro. I forget what happens in which issue. I think this is the one where Hal goes real crazy, and then this is the one where Kyle gets a new suit. They're all 4 they go in a collection. They're all pretty great covers. I think 49 is the coolest of the covers, but I also love 51.
I was gonna say 51's my favorite.
Kyle's first new suit. But this is like a nice, like these ones match very well. So
they do. So you're gonna put them side by side?
Yeah, I'm gonna line them all up. As for grades, okay, so the guy I bought these from on eBay said everything's near mint. Now I believe that when I see it.
No, you see it.
48 is in very good condition. I think this one has. I didn't look at the insides, admittedly, but just based on the cover, 9.4 potential, maybe higher. No spine ticks. Nice one. 49, which is the Hal cover, the one that I'm really very interested in. That one's got a few spine ticks. It's got like 3 or 4 spine ticks. It's got a lot of black on the cover. The thing about black books is every little mark shows, so it can be a bit tough. I'm gonna go with 8.5 on that one. Still nice.
Yeah, it's still good.
50 is another pretty clean cover, but there are 1 or 2 indentations. I'm going to go with a 9.0 on Green Lantern 50. And 51, which is the first Kyle Rayner in that new suit, which is one of my 2021 books that, was the goal. This one also has a few spine ticks. I'm going to go with another 9.0. So I think they're in for some good grades, but we'll see. If all 4 of the set would match with, high 9s, I'd be very happy, but
for sure.
There's a few spine ticks.
Okay, my next book I don't have with me. It's on the way. It's already purchased. It should be here in like a week or 2, but I am sending it. It is, come on, Edit Hunter, you could do it. It is this issue right here. This is Captain America issue 25. It is the first time that Sam Wilson put on the Captain America suit and won as Captain America. I'm doing a little Captain America thing on my wall here. I have the shield above me that I'm going to put some Captain America books all next to. Not worth too much money. It's more so for the personal collection. I think the cover's really cool. It'll look great on a slab. And there's a few other comics I'll be showing in a second here that'll kind of go with the collection.
Okay, I'm gonna go with a mystery book for my next one because I don't know what the inside looks like. Well, all right, I know what the inside looks like, but I don't know what this inside looks like. We're talking Adventures of Superman 500, still in the poly bag from the 90s.
Whoa.
Why is this an important issue? Superman is back from the dead. Unfortunately, they printed a million of these things, but first appearance of Con-El Superboy, first appearance of Steel, first appearance of Cyborg Superman, and first appearance of another one that I can't remember. So it's a cool issue. And yeah, it's still in the poly bag. And they write that on the CGC slab that CGC removed it from the poly bag. That's like something that's written on the label. So
so that could be like 9.8 then, eh?
So you would think that like everything's in a poly bag, it must be a 9.8. There's a good chance that it could be a 7.5. Who knows? I can't see inside of it. I don't know. I don't feel any spine ticks. I don't know if that's something you can feel. I'm not like Daredevil where I could be like, I sense it says Superman.
Yeah.
The raised ink, but I mean, from what I could see, it looks nice. I love Superboy Con-El. I have the idea of having a whole wall of Young Justice, so I'm starting it out with first Tim Drake and first Con-El. So
I'll continue my Captain America collection with this one here. This is Captain America issue 34. It is the first time that Bucky Barnes put on the Captain America suit. I bought this on mycomicshop.com. It came signed. It didn't say it was signed, but it came signed by the writer, Steve Epting.
Wait a second. You're sending it to CGC?
That's the thing. So this is the only issue I have right now. I'm thinking about getting another one that isn't signed to send, because for those who don't know, if you send a signed copy to CGC, they won't put it in a golden label like they do with most of sign books unless they see it being signed.
They put it in a green label, the same as they would put in like something that's just been written on.
Exactly. So if I were to send this, it just get the green label, which just means someone drew on it with marker, because they didn't see it signed. For as far as I know, this could not have been Steve Epting. I believe it is. It looks like a signature, but you never know. So I think I might just get another copy of this issue and send it in, but I do want it in next to the Sam Wilson one, have a little Falcon Winter Soldier above the shield there. So it's for the personal collection, but this copy alone, it looks like 9.0. I really wish it wasn't signed for whatever reason. It's weird. Ever since I got into CGC, I'm like, I wish this wasn't signed, but yeah.
Okay. My next one is going to be a book that was my white whale for a while that I nearly pulled the trigger on so many times. And then I ended up finding for $1 at a garage sale.
No.
I said garage weird. That was
garage sale.
My mouth just had like a buffering moment. I was like that cat with the buffering sign. I was like,
yeah.
Okay. Tales of the Teen Titans, number 44. The first appearance of Nightwing and the first appearance of Jericho. Now, if you've actually ever read the Judas Contract, Nightwing comes out and he's like, hey, get ready for Nightwing for one panel. And then the rest of the issue is like, oh my God, Jericho. Like they don't care about Nightwing in the issue. It's hilarious if you ever look up the panels. This is a pretty nice copy considering I got it for $1. There is some folding at the top corner. It looks like someone has read it and read it pretty hard. But I will be getting it pressed, courtesy of @JPhilly Collectibles on Instagram. Go check him out. Really cool dude. So that should take out the indentations at the top. That being said, there are 2 or 3 spine ticks and the staple's a little weird. I'm going to go with 8.5. Still a really nice issue and an issue I always wanted.
It's a really cool cover. My next one is the last one for my Captain America Little Trinity. For now, I want a Steve Rogers book, but this is the first time U.S. Agent put on the Captain America suit and called himself Captain America.
It's a really cool cover, too.
It is. This is Captain America issue 333. It's when Captain America first died, and so the government decided to make U.S. Agent Captain America, which is the main plot point for Falcon the Winter Soldier as far as we can tell. So this is kind of what the plot is going to be about. It's cool that I have it. Yeah, I just have 3 legacy Captain Americas, and now I want an iconic Steve Rogers book, but I don't know which one I could get because they're all really expensive. So we'll see. Maybe one day I'll have Avengers 4 up there, but until then I have his legacy.
That's all Clayton, Comic Nation 1776 on Instagram, our buddy Clayton from the hunting chat. He's got the Avengers number 4, which is like
so jealous.
Man. So jealous.
There's a few ticks near the bottom left of the spine. I'm gonna guess 7.5, just because this tick's kind of hurt it. It's like little bits of paper kind of like rubbed off, but still, it's an old book, so I understand. I'm still glad I have this issue.
Now, we haven't named anything yet that we think has 9.8 potential. This one may be the first one to have 9.8 potential with the press. This is the new Teen Titans #2, the first appearance of Deathstroke, and a super cool cover with the fake out Deathstroke. This is a book that I got from my uncle, and he took very good care of the book. That being said, there's one or two indentations on the cover, but I think both of them are pressable out. Now, some people think that a press could do everything. It basically just flattens the book, but it can help restore the cover. So I think this has 9.8 potential. That being said, I'm going to put it at a 9.6 just because I don't think it's a 9.8, but potential.
This is my next book here is one of my favorite single issues of all time from my favorite superhero. This is Daredevil number 181, the death of Elektra. I got this at a comic book store, just a local one. He had a bunch of old issues in there. It was just run by one guy. So I was flipping through them. And I saw this issue, and it's my favorite Daredevil single issue. So may as well get it. And getting a CGC, I still have the little label at the top right. They'll say Elektra dies or death of Elektra, something like that.
Yeah, cool I think it says death of Elektra in quotations.
Exactly. So it's a cool cover. I'm going to get this into the current going on Frank Miller CGC signing. So I'm going to send this in probably right away here to get it in by then.
And the deadline is March 15th for anyone who wants to get a book in.
So I got a bit of time. But still, yeah, I'm going to send it in right away so I could get that golden label and Frank Miller signing maybe around here. So yeah, cool book. I'm going to be sending it in.
Oh, I also bought a book for Frank Miller that I didn't even think about.
I thought it would be in this video. Yeah.
No, I said I just bought it last night. So
all right, I'll edit grabbing it.
Right here. Daredevil 168, the first appearance of Elektra. I know only like 12 issues in between her death and her first appearance, but it is a super cool cover. Fun fact, they spell Elektra wrong on the cover. I don't know if you've ever noticed that.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, Elektra spelled CK, like Elektra. Yeah,
that's weird.
It's bizarre how that got past editorials and all that. I don't know. That's kind of weird, but
bugs Frank Miller and are you sending it in for him to see again?
Yeah, I'm gonna write on the blue tape like, hey man, you spelled this wrong. But anyway, yeah, Death of Elektra. I'm gonna get that signed by Frank Miller because that was another one of my books for 2021, and yeah, I got it. So this is one that I do believe is a 9.8. I hate to go out on a limb like that, but I do think it is a 9.8. That being said, I also have not seen the inside because it's another polybag book. Static #1, the first appearance of Static in comic books. This is what his old suit too. It's the collector's edition, which comes in a polybag, and yeah, it looks extremely good in the polybag. I don't know how it looks on the inside, but I'm gonna say 9.8. I want to have one prediction that's gonna be a 9.8. So.
Okay, that'll be your 9.8 book. Static Shock. All right, I got a few modern keys here coming up before we get back to classic. I have Teen Titans #12, the first appearance of Batman Who Laughs, a character I don't really care about, so I might be flipping this to see if I can get something else. But I got this when it came out, and I didn't expect it to go up so much, but a 9.8 this guy could be worth like $700 now. Some people are even charging $1,000, but if you want this book, don't buy it for $1,000. You can get it for $600 or something.
And what you can do with that $700 is get a lot more of a cool comic instead of that.
Maybe better Steve Rogers book. Exactly. Yeah, I bought this when it came out just because I wanted to read the Teen Titans Metal tie-in, and it ended up being worth a lot of money. So I did read it once and then put it right into the bagging board. I'm gonna say 9.0 because I did read it. Sound like I just kept it all safe and everything, but it's been in the bagging board ever since. I haven't even taken this out since it came out in like 2017 or whatever.
Okay, I'm also going to show a modern first appearance that I was kind of low-key expecting you to send in. This is what I was just bringing up, that I didn't know what books you were submitting. The first appearance of who's become kind of a fan favorite character, Justice League #31, the first appearance of Jessica Cruz, first full appearance. Jessica's a weird character in the sense that her first appearance is broken into 3, which I hate. In a Green Lantern issue in the New 52, you see her hand, and that's it, her hand. And people consider that her first appearance. That's garbage. Then in Justice League #30, you get a cameo right at the end of the book of her and say that's her first cameo appearance. Again,
that's before she has power, so she's against like the door in her apartment, right?
With the tower and also she's not even on the cover. But this one, she's on the cover. I think it's going to look really good in a slab, and it's one that I thought of last minute when flipping through my collection. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to send this one in. I think it's going to be cool. And with the Green Lantern show coming, might not be a bad one to have.
Would the label say first appearance of Jessica Cruz?
It will say first full appearance of Jessica Cruz.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? I might add that to my list because I do own that issue, I believe. So yeah, I'll
Now,
probably add that to my
unfortunately,
list.
mine has a tad bit of spine damage. Not big, a little bit. I'm hoping pressing will do it justice. I'm gonna say 9.0, but I hope better.
Okay. My next full appearance here for a modern key, very modern. This came out about a year ago. Hell's Horizon #3, the first appearance of Punchline, Joker's new partner in crime. Punchline is a character I like, kind of, I guess. I'll probably hold on to this to the collection, but I could totally see myself selling it later down the line as she gets more appearances and her price goes up a lot more. But yeah, the reason why this is worth so much is because it's a miniseries that honestly didn't sell the greatest. So I don't believe it went for additional printings. Could be wrong about that, but
It went for a second printing because once people found out it's the first appearance of Punchline, people started buying it.
okay. Well, the first printing is worth a lot more. I think the second printing
Yes.
might have a different background, different color background.
Yeah,
If
probably
anything.
different color.
She's not on the cover, but this is her first full appearance. So the price, I don't know what it's at right now, but it goes up like with each new appearance of Punchline in Batman comics. And she's going to be appearing a lot in 2021, according to Jorge Gymnast. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, Hell's Horizon #3. There's a little bit of spine tick that I'm just noticing now.
Oh man,
Yeah, just a little
spine
bit.
the
I'm going
spine
to say
ticks are
9.0.
brutal,
I'm going
but
to say, yeah, 9.0, maybe even 8.5.
okay, I have so that was it for my books that I'm submitting. Now we have other people's books that I'm submitting. The first one here is going to come from Drew, who I said works on the comic with us, good friend Drew Dennis. Science. His is an X-Men issue, Uncanny X-Men number 133. It's a really cool Wolverine cover, and it's the first time Wolverine ever appeared on a cover alone.
Oh,
Random fact.
I didn't know that.
So it'll look good in the slab, and yeah. Grade, I'm gonna guess it's a little beat up. I'm gonna guess 6.0.
Drew's heart just sank.
Maybe. I don't know. Guessing grades is hard.
Not my book. I don't know. Oh, I forgot this was signed. Oh, I'll show that in a second. My next book I'll show, not signed. This is Thor God of Thunder #2. This is the first appearance of Gore the God Butcher, a book that was on my radar for so long, and I finally bought it. I can't really remember what I paid for this, but I won it in a bidding war, a bit lower than what it's worth for like an 8.0, I believe. No spine ticks that I could see. It doesn't look like it needs a press either. I'm gonna say maybe 9.8 potential for this guy. I haven't opened it though. I haven't looked at the back either. I have not taken it out of the bag. It still has the tape from when it arrived from eBay. Or not eBay, yeah, eBay actually. So yeah, Gore the God Butcher, he is being played by Christian Bale in the upcoming Thor Love and Thunder. So as soon as we get that first look, this value is gonna skyrocket up, especially when the movie's out. So I'm a big fan of Jason Aaron's Thor run, and this is one of the keys of that run. So
All right. Yeah. All right, now we're gonna move on to the books that are not mine and not Drew's. This is my dad's friend's books.
I don't know what these are.
Yeah, last week I went through his collection. I went through his collection a few years ago, and I remembered a few keys. But he told me that he had a few more long boxes, all modern stuff that he inherited from a friend. So I've been meaning to go take a look at them. And since I told him I'm submitting books for CGC, I was like, let me just take one grand look. I'll flip through everything and see what you got. He had 6 long boxes. I expected it to be like 2 long boxes, so I was very impressed. I picked out a few that I think are grade worthy. He had a few more that I liked, but I was like, all right, we'll save that for when the X-Men are fully in the MCU or something like that.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna start out with one that I think has potential to grow. I don't think it's at its peak yet. Secret Wars #1.
Ooh.
It's a very cool cover because it has Marvel's
Everyone.
most iconic characters. I mean, you got Wolverine, Captain America.
I see Spectrum. We got Monica on there. That's fairly new.
Iron Man. So it's an okay copy. I'd say like 7.0, maybe 7.5. It's pretty nice overall. It's a thicker book. Must have extra pages. But I think if Secret Wars is going to be adapted by the Russo brothers, this book has a lot of room to grow. And it is just a really cool cover if you love Marvel Comics.
Or just adapted in general, too.
Yeah, I'm just saying if the Russo brothers, like when Infinity War and Endgame, a lot of books took off. So I think it has that kind of potential. So
okay, cool.
It's a nice copy.
I will show my next book here. I have 2 more books here. This one I recently got from you. This is the first appearance of Jane Foster as Thor. This is a What If series. It is what if Jane Foster had found the Hammer of Thor, which is What If number 10. this counts as the first appearance as Jane Foster as Thor, even though she became Thor in 2015, I believe, is when she finally picked up the hammer. This technically counts as her first appearance as it because it was the first idea of Jane Foster having the power of Thor. Yeah, I'm a big Jane Foster Thor fan. It's one of my favorite Thor runs in general. So I have a few keys that she's been in, but I'm only sending 2 to CGC. This being the first one. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, both me and the guy that I bought it from, also Comic Germ, we both thought it was about 8.0 grade wise.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
It is a nice copy, and the cover is going to look great in the slab.
Oh
It's
yeah,
obviously an homage to Thor's first appearance, where he's swinging the hammer. So
Journey into Mystery.
it's super cool, and yeah, it's a cool key. You remember on the podcast like a few weeks ago, I talked about like how the market determines the value.
Yeah,
This is one where the market determines the value. They all consider this to be the first appearance of Jane as Thor, even though it's out of continuity. So this is the more valuable of the Jane Thor books.
it literally, it technically isn't canon. It's canon to the sense that the Watcher just was imagining this in a way.
Yeah, so I think on the label, I've seen it before on the label, it says first appearance of Jane Foster as Thor, not in main continuity.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
Still really cool.
Maybe I'll try to get that cover of her first appearance because it is a cool cover. It's just her lifting the helmet off and her face is all shadowed. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Side by side.
Yeah, that would be cool. All right. I got 2 big X books coming up next
Okay.
that I think are also have room to grow, but I think that they're already pretty hot. But as the MCU develops further, they'll get further. This is the first appearance of Gambit, the movie that's never going to happen. It's technically not his first appearance. He appears in an annual and a cameo, but it's another one where the market determines the value. This is the more valuable one because he's actually on the cover.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's a really clean copy. I'm really happy with this copy, and that's why I wanted to pull it for grading. I think with the press, 8.5.
Not bad.
Nice. There's a little break at the bottom, but it's nice. Maybe 7.5. There's a little stain. The more you look, the more you're not going to be happy. But
yeah,
it is a very nice issue. And yeah, I think Gambit, as he gets adapted, there's a lot of room to grow.
Oh, guarantee he probably not Channing Tatum Gambit, but guarantee he will be in the MCU one day.
No, but
he's so popular. So, I have one more book. How many do you have left?
I got 4.
Okay, you want to show a few more of yours?
Yeah, I'll show a few more. There's another X book. Another one that I think, as the character appears in the MCU, will grow. This is the first appearance of Bishop.
Oh,
super cool cover. Another one where this is considered his first cameo, but it's the more valuable one because he's on the cover. And it literally says Bishop. It says his name is Bishop. Cool cover, cool X book, very high grade looking. I'm going to go with 9.0 with the press. Looks pretty nice.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Next one.
This is one that may have already had its peak depending on what happens in the future of the movies. Still, it's an iconic cover from your best friend, the artist Rob Liefeld.
Oh.
This is the first appearance of Cable. New Mutants number 87. Gigantic, huge Cable is gigantic and huge. If you want to know why Hunter and Rob Liefeld are best friends, you could just listen to Timmy's Talk episode 1, also on YouTube. He's gigantic. He is staring into your soul. This one may have already had its peak because Deadpool 2 already came out and he appeared in it. And who knows if Cable will be in another project. I kind of think he will be in future Deadpool projects, but
100%. I can see him appearing again.
Either way, it's a good book to have, and it's in pretty good quality. I'm gonna go with 8.0, maybe 8.5 with a press. It's pretty nice.
Okay, not bad. I'll show my last book off now. This is the comic that I got signed that I kind of forgot about, but I still want to send into the other grading company, which is called
CBCS.
CBCS, because they look at the signatures, they verify it, and they say, yeah, this is real. You're good to go. So this one, I actually got a certificate of authentication showing proof that this was signed by Jason Aaron, and it is the death of the Mighty Thor. This is the Mighty Thor issue 705. It is the death of Jane Foster as Thor. This was also a gift from @SuperheroFix on Instagram, Thomas. So thank you so much for that. The cover is probably one of my favorite covers ever. Like top 5 for sure. Just the fire all around Jane Foster in general. It would look so good in a slab just in general. I wish I could get that gold label. Sorry, but I already talked to CGC. They said, sorry, we can't do it, even though it has the authentication of signature proof. But still a great book, and I want to get it in slab either way. So
The weird thing about signature authentication, the paper,
Mhm.
and anybody can make it. Anybody, like, I could print one out if I saw my book signed, because it just has to be made by someone who watched it get signed. So you can make your own. Yeah.
Yeah,
But that's why the
unfortunately.
CGC doesn't trust it. I wish they did, because that is pretty official, but unfortunately they don't.
Yeah, for sure.
Unfortunately.
Just in general, I think this could be 8.0. There's a little bit of a tick at the bottom left. It's kind of hard to see on the camera, but because of that, 8.0.
All right, my next one's a book that is considered a top 5 modern key. This is a book that it just rose in value in 2016 and just hasn't stopped since. It has waves where it goes up and down, but overall it just holds value. That is the New Mutants number 98, aka First Deadpool. Look at them, Rob.
Oh,
Look at them, Rob Liefeld feet.
I didn't know you
Yeah.
had that.
It's my dad's friends. It's not
Yeah.
mine, but it is. Yeah, that was the one that I knew was in his collection before I went diving into the rest. So, yeah, I saw this book like 4 years ago for the first time when it was like Deadpool just came out, and this book was really really hot. So
That's cool that you're just holding it.
yeah, I know, it's been in my room for the last like week now. It's awesome. It's a pretty nice copy. I noticed 1 or 2 small spine ticks. Not too bad though.
Yeah.
The corners are very sharp. A little bit of a staple misplacement, but I think with a press, it'll get back into place. I'm gonna go with 9.4. It's a nice copy, and it's gonna look good in the slab. I mean, it's First Deadpool. He's the main focus of the cover.
Yeah.
Giant Rob Liefeld people.
Is that your final book there?
I have one more.
Oh, let's see it.
Which might be the biggest one from this collection.
Bigger than Deadpool, damn.
Bigger than Deadpool. When I said Deadpool's a top 5 modern key, this is also a top 5 modern key. One of the most iconic covers of all time that has been homaged so many times. We're going to go with the first appearance of Venom in ASM 300.
Oh my God.
Mega book, the mega book of mega books. It is such a nice book. It goes for so much money, stupid money, ridiculous
thousands
money.
and thousands and thousands of dollars.
To quote the great Avi Avrad of Sony Pictures, the kids love Venom, and it is true. The kids love Venom.
Wow. And that
This
cover
is a nice book,
been
and
like
it's been referenced 1,000 times. I'm sure
There's
we'll
a-
reference it when we make comics.
there's an upcoming Spider-Man cover with that exact same style coming up with Spider-Man's new suit, the white one.
Todd McFarlane, iconic Spidey pose with the 300s all around. I mean,
cannot believe you have that on your...
dude,
I know it's not yours, but like, wow.
So quick little story. I'm flipping through the books, and he was getting the boxes out of the garage for me while I was flipping.
Mhm.
And I see he had them all labeled, like, what character was what. It was a lot of indie stuff, but it'd be like X Factor, New Mutants. Then I saw Spider-Man, but it was a little tiny like space. Like there was like maybe like 6 Spider-Man books in there. So I'm like, man, he's got all these cool modern books, but like
barely
during that period of Spidey, you have 300, 301, 360, 361, 360, like all iconic books, First Carnage, First Venom, so many iconic books in that time. So I'm like, damn, it's not going to be in here. So I flip, it's like a Dan Slott Amazing Spider-Man issue, a random Spectacular Spider-Man issue. I'm like, damn, like that would have been so cool. And then this one got like stuck. So I flipped by it, and then I'm like, oh, I think I missed one. And I flipped back, and I literally went, holy shit. And that was right when he was going to the garage, and he's like, what happened? What happened? Is everything all right? And I was like, you have Amazing Spider-Man 300. And he doesn't really know comics. So, he couldn't have the same kind of like level that I was like, holy shit. Yeah. I've seen this book in videos so many times. Very Gary Comics. I feel like I've seen it 100 times, but voice crack. But to actually hold it in my hand, it's amazing. ASM 300 is just it's a mega book. It's one of those books that will always sell no matter what. I mean, being the first Venom always helps, but it's such an iconic cover that everyone wants that in a slab. Mm-hmm. Spidey fans, non-Spidey fans, Venom fans, non-Venom fans. It's an iconic book.
It's so good. Did you put an offer on it? Because that's what I do.
I have not put an offer on it because it's like a minimum of a 9.0.
Oh,
so I wouldn't be able to afford it. There's like a $800 book.
I'd still ask him just in case, like, how much you want for it.
if I had the money for it, I honestly would. But it's man, this is a book that's out of my range. It's a nice book though. That's why I say it doesn't hurt to look at people's collections. If someone's like, yeah, I used to collect books in the 90s, this is the 90s book. I think maybe not. Now I'm about to get fact checked by Tyler. It was actually 1987. I think it's 90s though, but it's a nice cover. I'm gonna go with 9.0, but yeah, that one will always sell.
Wow. I'm just gonna real quick. Amazing Spider-Man 300 value.
It's a big book. While he's looking that up, I have a book here that I pulled from the collection that I'm tempted to send in, but it's one of those ones where the market dictates the value, and this is considered the less valuable one. This is ASM 360, one of the other Spider-Man books he had.
I know that
First
one.
cameo of Carnage. However, 361 has Carnage on the cover. That's the more valuable one. Considering sending this one in, but it's not a 9.8, so I think I'm gonna hold back. Still a nice copy, but I think it's better to be sold raw. So
Yeah, fair enough.
but yeah, so that's the books.
Just real quick, I found the results. So a 9.0 is just going for 650 as of now.
Whew.
But
It's more than that too. If you went on eBay, you will not find one for 600.
Oh yeah, no, 100% not. That's the cheapest you can get it. 9.8 is going for $4,300 for a 9.8 of that. Wow.
9.8s are very hard to get on that book, I will say. I watch Very Gary Comics on YouTube, and he has unboxed a lot of them. There's a lot of black on the cover, and like I said, black makes spots show. So, and it was such a red book because people were interested in the whole Venom saga. So, a lot of them are beat up. 9.8s are not easy to find. So, there's a lot of 9.2s, a lot of 9.4s, a lot of 9.6s. 9.8 is hard
for sure.
And if you have a 9.9 of that book, which they do exist, oh my god.
Yeah.
So yeah, that about does it for the video. So wish us luck. Pray for some 9.8s and yeah, comics, yeah.
So this is a little funny. As I was exporting this very video, I got a little knock on my door. Went to open it up and this arrived. The comic I was just talking about. Captain America number 25. The first time Sam Wilson put on the Captain America suit. Finally have it. There is a little tick that I didn't see when I bought it online that will hurt the book a lot, I'm sure. I'm gonna say 8, maybe 7.5. I could be wrong, but that's my guess. After I saw this book, I went to put it in my short box of comics, and that's when I saw another book that I completely forgot to show with JD. So this is the other book I'm sending to CGC real quick. This is She-Hulk #1, the first appearance of She-Hulk. I got this off a guy on Facebook Marketplace a couple months back. I paid $100 for it. It looks in great condition. Could use a clean. Doesn't really need a press, but there's a few spine ticks here and there near the bottom, but I'm going to say 8.5 for this guy. The value is going to jump up a lot on this when the She-Hulk show comes out, but we'll have to wait and see. Right now, I think a 9.8 is worth 600, something like that, and this has potential for maybe a 9. I'm guessing 8.5 though. Forgot to show that to JD. Oops.